Hare Krishna, everyone. Please accept my humble obeisances. A very warm welcome to everyone for joining the first session of Nourish Your Soul through Conscious Cooking, and we thank you for joining us. It is through the mercy of our spiritual guardians and the Vaishnavas and the kind Vaishnavas that we have this opportunity to try to serve the devotees and friends. I would like to offer my respects to our divine masters. Om Jnana Timirandasya Jnananjana Salakaya Chakshur Unmilitam Yena Tasmai Sri Gurave Namaha. Fulfilling my life's aspirations, I offer my respects unto Sri Gurudeva. Kanupriya Didi will now say a few words with regards to the sessions, and then Krishna Kinkar Prabhu will introduce our speaker for today. Thank you.
Dhanavat pranams, Vanchakalpatarubhascha, Kripa Sindhu Vaivacha, Titanam Pavanebhyo, Vaishnavebhyo, Namo Namaha. So yeah, glad that you've all joined us today on this wonderful spiritual journey. These sessions will run throughout the year, including talks, cooking demonstrations and kirtan. A schedule will be sent out every month and a reminder every Friday. So please check into the Facebook page for updates. Also, those that can't make it today, again, like I said, we're going to be recording these, so they will be going live and hopefully rescheduled onto a YouTube channel. These sessions are, this Saver project is basically to give friends and family and all a great opportunity to inquire and learn about Krishna conscious cooking and philosophy. So we hope that, you do ask questions at the end. There will be an opportunity. So thank you. We look forward to seeing you again next week and the week after and the week after. Thank you. Dhanavat.
I humble Dhanava Pranams to all devotees and friends. Hare Krishna. So it is my pleasure to introduce the first speaker for the Conscious Cooking Program. His Grace Sripad Bhakti Niskama Shanta Maharaj. Sripad Shanta Maharaj obtained his PhD degree at the IIT University in Kharagpur, India, and he is currently the General Secretary of the Sri Chaitanya Saraswat Institute. Under the guidance of his spiritual teachers, Maharaj has traveled to different states of India and abroad for scientific educational programs to establish a lasting harmony between Vedanta and science. Together with Sripad Bhakti Vigyan Muni Maharaj, he has been delivering scientific lectures at various schools, colleges, institutes, and universities at the different states in different countries like India, Nepal, some major cities like London, New Jersey, New York, Massachusetts, countries like Ireland, Singapore, and so on. The devotees around the world are continuously being inspired by Sripad Shanta Maharaj's lectures via Zoom on a daily basis, and also via different languages. We consider ourselves truly fortunate to have this opportunity to listen to Sripad Shanta Maharaj. Please accept my humble Dhanava Pranams Maharaj.
Dandavat to all the devotees, and we are very much thankful for your kind opportunity to give some service opportunity. We are very much thankful to the Vaishnavas. By the grace of devotees, we have some humble service opportunity. So you are all trying to spread the message of our gurus and all the Vaishnavas in a humble way. So that is very satisfying. So thank you very much for inviting, even though I'm most unqualified, but whatever little I have learned from my spiritual masters, I would like to share with all of you, and maybe that will be purifying to myself, and in the process may be helpful to all of you. That's my prayer and hope. So I have prepared some slides. So with the beginning, we offer our prayers to our gurus. Mukam karoti vachalam panghum langhayati giri jatkripa tamaham bande si gurudinatarinam om jnanatimirandhasya jnananjana salakaya chakshurunmilitam jaina tasmai Sri Gurave Namaha. नमो विष्णुपादाय कृष्णपृष्ठाय भूतले श्रीमते भक्ति सर्वदामोदर स्वामिति नामिने नमो सद्भक्तमने मणिपुरोद्भवय च प्रभुपादलस्य वाणी प्रचारनिरताय ते पूज्य श्री गुरुवर्गवन्दित महाभावान्वित सदा पूर्वापर्य परम्परा प्रचलित प्राच्य प्रमुतकितेः भक्तिर्निर्मलनिजरस्य निवृत्तं संरक्षकं सादरं वन्दे श्री गुरुदेवनाथ श्रीराचार्यवर्यं निजं गुरुवाविष्टसुपरकं गुरुगणैराशीष सम्भूषितं चिन्ताचिन्त समस्त वेदनिपुणं श्रीरूपपन्थानुगं गोविन्दविदम् उज्ज्वलं भरतनुं भक्तन्वितं सुन्दरं वन्दे विश्वगुरुं च दिव्यभगवत्प्रेम्णो हि बीजप्रदम् अधनत्वा मन्त्रगुरून् गुरून् भागवतार्थदान् व्यासान् जगद्गुरुन् नत्वा तत्त्वजय मुदिरये वृन्दाये तुलसीदेव्याय प्रियाय केशवस्य च कृष्ण भक्तिपदे देवी सत्यवत्ते नमो नमः। जय श्री कृष्ण चैतन्य प्रभु नित्यानंद श्री अद्वैत गदाधर शिवासादि श्री गौर भक्तबिंद हरे कृष्ण 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 हरे 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 राम 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 हरे हरे. So our humble dandavad pranam to all the Vaishnavas, to all the devotees. By the grace of devotees, by the grace of Vaishnavas, we can have some humble opportunity to participate in the service. We always pray for their grace, their mercy. So today, this program that you all starting on conscious cooking. So I was thinking to give some talk on the science of Mahaprasadtarianism. Generally, we heard about vegetarianism, veganism, and all these things, but we not heard about Mahaprasadtarianism. Here, Srila Om Vishnava, Srila Bhakti Niskama Goswami Maharaj, he's a Bhandari of Mahaprasad. He's a Bhandari. It means he's a treasure house distributing so many varieties of prasadam that Mahaprabhu relished. You might all be knowing, some of you may not be knowing, Srila Acharya Maharaj. Srila Acharya Maharaj is the Sevayat President Acharya chosen by those who are all not speaking. Can they all mute? Well, so the background noise is not coming. Some noise is coming. Where? Okay. All right. So Srila Acharya Maharaj, Srila Bhakti Niskama Acharya Goswami Maharaj is being personally chosen by Vishnupad Srila Bhakti Sundar Govinda Dev Goswami Maharaj to lead the mission of Sri Chaitanya Saraswat Math. So here, this is the one of the festival that Maharaj is distributing prasadam. I think it is in Damdam Park temple, seems to me. So we'll begin from there. Now we have food. Generally, we know, as is being often being discussed in common language, food. Food is of two types. One is gross food and another subtle food. Gross food that you can taste or touch or smell, things like that. So that you can see the gross food that baby is releasing the Chinese noodles. And then you can have also subtle food, the food for mind, intellects, and ego. There can be food also. The people generally aware of the food for belly or tongue, but they are not aware of that they are also taking food for mind, food for intellect, food for ego, food for soul. All those things they are not aware actually. And they have a major role to play, as gross food also influences subtle plane, and the subtle food also influences gross plane. And you might be well aware of that, how things are influencing in your life. You might have some experience of that if you have thought about it before carefully. So influence of gross food on gross body. People generally, some people have misunderstanding. Body is something like a machine. They think like that. But actually, body does not act like the mechanical machine. Mechanical machine, the things come and go. A petrol or whatever fuel you are injecting, that is not becoming the part of that system. And the fuel comes in and it burns and it goes out. But the food that you are eating, that also becoming part of your body actually. Hmm. Actually, when my Shiksha Gurudev Sripad Bhakti Maharaj was giving a talk in California, one university, then he asked the students there, do you think you are all body? Yes, we are all bodies. He said like that. The students generally they get education like that. Then Maharaj told him, Sripad Bhakti Maharaj told him, then you are also samosa and you are also potato. Then tell me how we are samosa and potato. Then he told, that you were not potato in the field, but that potato you bring from the field and then you wash it and prepare some breakfast or lunch, whatever you take it, then it becomes part of your body. So you are also potato, you are also samosa, you are also chapati, all those things. If you are thinking that you are body, because body is constantly changing, it is in the state of flux. Some chemicals are coming in and some are going out in the form of stool, urine, all those different ways the body transformations are going on, anabolism, metabolism, catabolism, that is well known. And you also know how different food that influences one can become very thin or fat based on kind of food they consume. It is all well understood thing, but just wants to remind or refresh our ideas about this. And also food can influence your mood actually. Food can also influence your mood, and there are some scientists that is fish consumption may lead to depressive symptoms. There are some studies on that. So many actually that are being published. You can look into that. And also fruits or vegetables may modify the brain, different states, and can have positive effects. So they have some studies on that, how that fruits and fresh vegetables can influence. And sugar intake also can lead to depression. And they have some studies how the soft drinks and sugar drinks they influence. Some references are there. And there is quite interesting thing. Not only the food, but the bacteria in your gut can also change your food habits. The bacteria in your food, you may be not thinking to eat certain kind of thing, but the bacteria in your gut can develop certain kind of situation that may make you feel hungry even though your belly is full. He wants to always eat. That may also influence, because you are 90% bacteria, 10% human cell, your body. 90% of your body, inside and outside, there are layers of these bacteria are there, and they are doing also very important function. Without that we cannot survive actually. So obviously the gross food has an influence on the subtle mind, what kind of food you are consuming. And the subtle food also influences both gross and subtle body. You all know nowadays diabetes is a very well known disease worldwide. mm, and also heart attack and other things, they're very much coming from the kind of mental states, the influences that people are receiving in the form of distress that they are getting, or kind of association they are taking from there also. If you are associating with person who is very much always in anxiety, then you will also get that actually. uh, Full of anxieties for all unwanted things. People are who are very much busy with what you can say aggressive mentality. If you are associating with them, you can also become like that. Uh, so from that kind of thing that you are getting the food for your mind in their association, then that may influence also your gross body, and also your nature will be influenced. Your nature can be influenced, and it is a well studied process. You might have also experienced this thing, the kind of thing that you are receiving through your mind, intelligence, and egoic plane. They all have a influence on your both gross and subtle plane. Mm, they have a great influence. So what Bhagavad Gita says on food, There is a sloka in Bhagavad Gita 3.13. Yagya Sista Sinaha Santo Muchante Sarva Kilvisaihi Bhunjante To Agama Papaye Pachantya Atma Karanat. Saintly persons who partake of the remnants of sacrifice become liberated from all the sins arising from the 5 kinds of violence to living beings. But those who cook for their own consumption, those sinners eat only sin. So the food that you consume, that can be either sinful or free from sins. The Bhagavad Gita says that. If you are partaking in the food that is a remnant of sacrifice, so you know the food that you are eating obviously is not something insentient. You cannot live on insentient food. Huh? You are living on the body of other living entities. Whether you call it dal or rice or whatever you are taking the body of other living entities actually. All those things that you are consuming is the body of other living entities. So you have to commit some kind of violence of living beings. But Bhagavad Gita says, if that thing is a sacrifice, a remnants of sacrifice, then you will be liberated from all those sins. But you are not doing that, then you have to be part of that sin. Sacrifice is not as people understand. They think that there is some kind of fires in fire days sacrifice animals. That's not only sacrifice. The real meaning of sacrifice is doing things for the satisfaction of the Lord. Doing things for the satisfaction of the Lord. You may be doing fire sacrifice, but that is not satisfaction of Lord may not be involved there. And that cannot be considered as sacrifice actually. Even though whatever you do, Lord is ultimately beneficiary of that. But the direct benefit you can offer to Lord also, there is a process, there is a path that is being elaborated in the scripture. But that is a very great detail, can be discussed in some other time. But what I want to say is that even food can be accepted as the remnant of sacrifice. You can offer it to Lord and then to his devotees. Then you can honor that as a remnant. That is sacrifice, remnants of sacrifice. So in that way, those living entities, those who are being sacrificed for their bodies, they will get some benefit, and you are accepting that also, you will be getting some benefit. But if you are cooking for yourself with some morality, then you will not able to overcome the sinful reaction. So there is a tendency for imitation everywhere. There is a illusionary imitationist. They have a concept of non-violence, vegetarianism, and all those things. Jainas very famously, they claim themselves as ahimsa. They are following ahimsa. Buddhists also, and there is veganism, vegetarianism. They are all some kind of illusionary concept of that what you can say morality, which is independent of absolute, that they follow. There is a sloka in Srimad Bhagavatam 5.6.9. Yasya kilanu charitam upakaranya konka venka kuta kanam rajarahan namo pasikasya kalav adharama utkrasya mane bhavita vyeno vimohita swadharma patham ukuta bhayam apya kupata pakhandam asamajasam nija manisya mandah sampravartai sayet. This is from Bhagavatam 5.6.9. The translation is, Sukadeva Goswami continued speaking to Maharaj Parikshit, my dear king, the king of Kona, Venka and Kutaka, whose name was Arhat, heard of the activities of Rishabdev and imitating Rishabdev's principles, introduced a new system of religion. Taking advantage of Kali Yuga, the age of sinful activity, King Arhat, being bewildered, gave up the Vedic principles, which are free from risk, and concocted a new system of religion opposed to Vedas. That was the beginning of Jaina Dharma. Many other so-called religions follow this atheistic system. So, you know, our land of Bharat is named on the name of Bharat Maharaj. He is the son of Rishabdeva. Rishabdev is the incarnation of Lord Hari, and he was quite detached. Always he detached, absorbed in trance. Hmm. So, when Rishabdev was actually showing that great detachment, and people were very much attracted to that detachment, you can understand Lord is the master of all opulence, and he is also having this highest detachment quality. And obviously such a person looks very attractive. Uh, and then this one imitator called Arhat, King Arhat, he tried to imitate him also. Like monkeys, they imitate great personalities. So he imitated him, and he started this Jaina Dharma. And you can find in Jaina Dharma, they worship Arhant. Uh, there is a mantra. He, on his name, they have mantra, they worship him, and they do all the things, that moral code given by King Arhant. Arhat. Arihanta, Arihanta Nam, that sloka is there for them. Jainas follow. And they put a mask on their nose, like now Corona, everybody putting mask. Jainas always wear masks, thinking that no insect will die when I breathe in, like that. And you ask the Jainas, I have asked them many times in many meetings that Indian government invited us in many interreligious dialogues. Then I asked them, you are talking about non-violence, what about the plant? Why are you so much harsh towards the plant and seeds? They say, no, no, seeds don't have life. Plants don't have life. They say like that. They have to. Such a foolish concept they have. They have to say that. Even this vegetarianism or Jainism or veganism, you ask them, vegans. We were collaborating with Vegan Society for a conference in Rutgers University. They were our co-host, and I have a lot of interaction with them. And I asked them, they invited me to their public meeting, and I asked them, how you people are so much compassionate to cow but not to plant? Hmm? You think that your compassion is only limited to animals, not to plants? You think plants don't have life? Then plants don't have life. If we think plants have life, then how can we live? Then I said that for your life, you are denying some other living entities, even life even. You are thinking that is non-life. That is not good. It's inconsistent philosophy actually. So, being deviated from Vedic principle, like Srimad Bhagavatam, it is being told 1.13.47, you will find Ahastani sahastanam apadani chatuspadam Phalguni Tatra Mahatam Jiva Jivasya Jivanam. Those who are devoid of hands are prey for those who have hands. Those devoid of legs are prey for the four-legged. The weak are the subsistence of the strong, and the general rule holds that one living being is food for another. So to live, you must eat another living entity. You have to, otherwise you cannot survive. You cannot deny that you are eating something non-living. You have to eat the body of a living entity. You have to eat it. Then how can you make yourself free from the sins? Not by any concocted moral code, by cheap imitation. Buddhism also came on the basis of ahimsa principle. Lord Buddha came to stop animal sacrifice on the name of yajna. Unqualified brahmanas were doing yajna at the beginning of age of Kali. Then yajna can only be performed, such animal sacrifice only those souls can do who can give life to the soul immediately after sacrificing the body. The present body can give the new body to the soul. If they don't have that power, then they cannot do yajna. But Kali Yuga Brahmanas don't have that power. Thus they were doing those sacrifices just for their satisfaction of tongue. So Lord felt very compassionate to those animals, and he came to stop that animal killing, and he told no need to follow any Vedas, anything. follow your buddhi. Lord was very compassionate and he given that principle. But they have not understood the real explanation of making oneself free from the sinful reaction. Just renunciation, you cannot stop eating, you have to eat. You cannot stop activity, you have to act. Only you have to learn how to eat or act in a proper uh, consciousness. Develop proper attitude behind all the thinking or activities. Proper attitude is necessary, and that is very rarely being found in all this imitation, principle that we find. They are just making some external show of, non-violence, vegetarianism, and all those things. So that is not going to give any real benefit actually. Eating egg or eating some vegetable is one and same. You are anyway killing the animal. You cannot differentiate. Anyway, you are doing sin. If you are eating egg, the next life you will be that body, like egg body. If you are eating grain, then you will get next life grain body. Whatever. That is the law of karma actually. So definition of Mahaprasad. Here, Srila Govinda Maharaj has told very nice thing. But if there is no Vaishnava present, where will we see the transcendence? But if a Vaishnava takes prasadam, that will then be transformed into Mahotsava. There may be only 5 or even just 1 or 2 Vaishnavas present, but that is then a Mahotsav. Whereas if there are thousands of people present to take food, but no Vaishnava, then that is not actually a Mahotsav. First, the Vaishnavas will take prasadam, and then those who are fully body conscious will take after them. So generally devotees, they call it, we are doing Mahotsav. We are doing a great festival. But they have no understanding what is the meaning of festival. But here Srila Govinda Maharaj has given very important and beautiful explanation. Without the Vaishnava, whatever activity that you are doing, that has no spiritual transcendental value. The first paragraph, Govinda Maharaj elaborated. Mahotsav is only there if there is a Vaishnava there, background. If the Vaishnava is not there, you are doing independently thing, then that's not Mahotsav actually. That is sense gratification. Without Vaishnava, you are worshipping Krishna. Then Saraswati Thakur telling, you are worshipping yourself actually. You are worshipping yourself by that process. It's a very important thing. So many people in this world, they are imitators. They act like guru without any authorization from the acharyas. Many people, they act like great, what I can say, personalities without any authorization. But Mahaprabhu himself, absolute himself, came as a very simple person. Krishna came as a very simple person, and initially he shown some kind of intellectual pastime, Nimai Pandit. But when his guru chastised him, Ishwar Puri chastised him, then he shown that he is servant of devotees. He was carrying the pot of the flower pot from devotees. He was wringing the cloths of devotees. Doing all kinds of service to devotees. Mahaprabhu. Mahaprabhu shown what is the characteristics of a proper Krishna conscious person. He himself used to go with Kirtan to receive devotees from Jagannath Puri, the border. He himself used to go. And he also told Ishwar Puri when he met, my visit to Holy Dham is successful. Gaya Dham visit is successful because I met you. Because I met you, that's why my visit to holy place is successful. That is Mahaprabhu's conception. Even he is going to have darshan of Lord, he is standing behind Garuda. He said, I have no eyes to see God. But God can see. Great Vaishnava is there. He definitely see towards Garuda. If I stand behind him, maybe he may see me. That is my hope. That if he sees me, then my coming here is successful. With that mood, he's standing behind, not crossing the Vaishnava. Dhai tava pache pache, behind. That principle Mahaprabhu has given. So here also, Mahotsav or festival, the food, prasadam, must be, after offering Lord, must be offered to a Vaishnava. If that is not offered to Vaishnava, then it is not proper actually. Previously, Grosthas, how they practice, they first offer to Lord, then they go out and check. Either any sadhu is there, any Vaishnava is there outside house, they go and check. They check. And if there is somebody, then they call him, Prabhu, please come and take prasadam. After he takes, then the Grostha used to take. In past, that was the practice actually. They used to do that. But now all those things are anyway gone. All those practices. Even that's why very simple process is given in the age of Kali, at least. You chant this holy name without offense. Very simple process. But however, if one is developing, advancing proper, then he has to also understand all these things. They are there. The next paragraph, Govinda Maharaj says, therefore, everything is not service to Krishna and the Vaishnavas. There are very few Vaishnavas, but first, we shall try to serve the Vaishnavas. And in that way, we shall distribute prasadam to the masses. Among us, thousands gathered as a festival, there may be only one or two Vaishnava present, but if they first will take that prasadam and the remainder is distributed to the masses, the Mahotsav is successful. In that way, the masses will get Nitya Sukruti or eternal merit through that Maha Prasadam. So that is not only Mahaprasadam, it is Maha Prasadam. Generally, prasad has a varied understanding. You can offer some food to the demigods, that is also called prasad. But that which we offer to Lord Krishna is known as Mahaprasad. It's not ordinary prasad, Mahaprasad. But when that is being honored by a devotee, then it becomes Mahaprasad, even greater. Mahaprasad. So we always aspire for Mahaprasad. That is what our aspiration is. That is a devotee's attitude. Haridas Thakur, if you see, many times we read in Chaitanya Charitamrita in our Jum Sanghas. Mahaprabhu saying, Haridas, seeing your humility, my heart is melting, Haridas. So much humility you have. Haridas Thakur being invited by Advaita Acharya is saying, I am such a low class person. I am a Muslim, but taken birth in Muslim family. You offer prasadam to Mahaprabhu, Nityananda Prabhu. If they throw something, all these devotees, then I will take from there something. He's saying like that. Haridas Thakur. That's great Vaishnava. Always so humble. He and Murari Gupta, both very humble Vaishnavas. Mahaprabhu is saying, even somebody does offense to such great Vaishnavas who have such great humility, even in mind, I will not forgive them. If somebody commits in mind any offense to such great Vaishnavas. So we always take Mahaprasad, not by force, but if that comes to us by their grace. Mahaprasad cannot be taken by force. You might have heard how Srila Acharya Maharaj has told many times the story of Jagannath Das Babaji Maharaj. You might have heard. One lady invited Jagannath Das Babaji Maharaj for giving him some bhiksha, prasadam in her house. And Jagannath Babaji Maharaj accepted. And he was going, Bihari carrying him from Navadip all the way towards Calcutta. Very far, walking that time, carrying him on the head in a basket. Then when Jagannath Babaji Maharaj reached there, she was serving him with so many varieties of prasadam, and Babaji Maharaj was taking very nicely. Then she was thinking, oh, Babaji Maharaj not leaving anything on the leaf. I invited him and I want to take some of his remnant, but he is not leaving anything on the plate. Then she is knowingly giving more and more to Jagannath Babaji Maharaj. Then Babaji Maharaj can understand her intention. And Babaji Maharaj told, okay. Then he taken all the prasadam and he also eaten that leaf. The banana leaf also he has eaten. So we cannot. Seva must be having some adhikar. Some authorization must be there. You cannot do seva without authorization. You cannot serve Lord without devotee. Devotee must authorize you to do something. In some service, devotee must be there. Vaishnava must be there. Without devotee, there is no service, no prasadam, nothing there. Without devotee. Devotee must be there for something genuine service to manifest. Then the third paragraph, Govind Maharaj says here, we want to serve the masses, but in which way? By giving the Mahaprasadam. When Krishna takes food, that is called Mahaprasadam. But when that Mahaprasadam is taken by a Vaishnava, it becomes Mahaprasadam. And it is that which we want to distribute to everyone. Among us, those who are gathered at the festival, some of those who are body conscious may be destined to become ghosts, but they will be benefited by taking prasadam. If they will take Mahaprasadam after the Vaishnava Seva, then they will get more benefit. This is very important. If you see in our mutt, generally if somebody passes away, then they do this Vaishnava Seva. The food being offered to the Vaishnavas, the prasadam is offered to the Vaishnavas, Dwadas Mahajan. In Bhagavatam, the Dwadas Mahajan, they offer the leaves to Dwadas Mahajan in the Yajna, Vaishnava Seva Yajna, they do, if somebody passes away in devotee's family. And then that food is honored by all the Vaishnavas devotees, and that remnant is being given to the great Vaishnavas, after honoring them, that is being given to the person who passed away, his photo being offered. And that is being again done Visarjan. After offering that prasadam is being done Visarjan in some pond or a river, wherever, or well. So they may be destined to become ghost, or they may be destined to according to their karma, but they will immediately get benefit by receiving this Mahaprasadam. Mahaprasadam. So this is very important principle, that the remnant, we live on the remnant. Oh, hey Vaishnava Thakur, Ami Tumar Kukur. Bhakti Thakur saying, I am your dog, a Vaishnava, and dog lives on remnant. If the owner, after eating something, throws to the dog, then dog is happily wagging the tail, taking that happily, and guarding at the door. If any enemy is coming, not allowing. So one has to be like that towards Vaishnava. That type of attitude must be there. Very faithful to the Vaishnava, and attitude like a dog. Very difficult to practice that. We are very far from that, but that is the ideal that Bhaktivinoda Thakur has set. So our food, our activities, everything must be based on that. Even that song that Bhaktivinoda Thakur written, Bhogarati song. Lalita di Sakhigana Abasesa Pai. Lalita Devi and her friends, they are receiving the remnant of her mistress Radharani. Radharani takes the prasad, Krishna prasad, then her remnant taken by Lalita Devi and her associates. Then that comes down like that. This is the process that is also there in the Bhogarati song. And in the Vaishnavism, this wisdom is also given by Bhaktivinoda Thakur in Gita Vali Prasad Seva 1.1 to 2. Sarira Vidyajal Jadendriya Tahikal Jiva Phele Visaya Sagare Tara Madhya Jivavati Lobhamaya Sudurmati Take Jita Kathina Sansare Krishna Bada Dayamoy Karibhare Jiva Jai Saprasad Anna Dillo Bhai Se Anna Mrita Pao Radha Krishna Gunagao Premedako Chaitanya Nitai. Srila Bhaktivinoda Thakur explains in his poem that everything you eat will be the cause of future bondage in this material world unless you use the energy and nourishment you receive from your food to serve liberated souls and the Lord. Furthermore, if you honor everything you eat as prasadam, the remnants of the Lord, Gurudev and Vaishnavas, then eating it will not cause any further bondage in this world. Rather, it will increase your devotional mood and devotional atmosphere of your life. It is a very important thing. That's, this body is the network of this illusion. Is trapping us, but that can be overcome by the process of honoring the Mahaprasadam, Mahaprasadam. If you are honoring, every day. So this we sing before taking the Mahaprasad. Otherwise, whatever you are eating, you must incur some kind of bondage. So what intention you are doing things or taking prasadam, everything has a great role to play. And I wanted to share an incident that happened with Srila Bhakti Damodar Maharaj and Srila A.C. Bhakti Prabhupada. Once Srila Bhakti Damodar Maharaj, my Harinam Gurudev, he asked Srila Prabhupada that, Prabhupada, we are taking this Mahaprasadam, and then the worms and germs in our body, will they also get some benefit? Then Prabhupada said, why not? They will definitely get. You are very benevolent, he says. So the devotional practices that individual is performs, unknowingly so many jiva souls, they are getting benefit. You are cooking the food for the Lord, offering, then whoever served those all living entities, they all will get benefit. Who given some water to that plant, from where that rice came, dal came, they all will get some benefit. It's a chain of network of distribution of sukruti, agyata sukruti, unknowingly. Like this in software, Zoom, who designed, we don't know. He has some other intention, but it is being used for Krishna's service, and he will definitely get benefit. This computer, laptop, so they're all getting some benefit. In this way, devotee is a great benefit for this world. That's why Mother had become very happy if a Vaishnava takes birth. He can save so many souls. He can save so many souls actually. It is very, what you can say, transcendental process, holistic process. So, what is the deeper meaning of prasad? Prasad is not just food, as people think. Prasad is not just food. In Srimad Bhagavad Gita 18.58, is being told, Mat chitta sarva durgani mat prasadat tarishyasi atachet tvam ahankaran na srosyasi vinangshasi. Giving your heart to me, you will be able to overcome all obstacles by my grace. But if out of pride you do not heed my words, you will perish. So prasad is the grace. What is prasad? Prasad is the grace coming from Lord and his devotees. Krishna says, you can overcome all the obstacles by accepting my grace, by my grace. If you give heart to me, giving heart to means we follow what Lord is desiring, accept it, what Lord is desiring or saying or instructing. But if you bring your false pride in between, then you have to perish. This is the conclusive statement of Krishna is telling in Bhagavad Gita. Generally we remember Sarva Dharman Paritejya, but this is also very important conclusion that Krishna is giving in Bhagavad Gita. And we often also hear Brahmanda Bhamite Bhamite Kono Bhagyavan Jeev Guru Krishna Prasade Pai Bhakti Lata Bij. Wandering throughout the material universe, the very fortunate living entity who received the grace of Guru and Krishna received the seed of creeper of devotional service. So prasad is the grace. You cannot see difference in honoring prasadam or chanting or playing murdanga, kartal, or speaking harikatha, distributing books. They're all the same. There's the coming as a grace, as a service opportunity from a Vaishnava. There's not different. They're all same. You cannot see any difference. Some may see like that, oh, this is different, that is different, but no. The activity of bhajan, whatever it can be war, it can be reading scripture, it can be eating whatever, everything is same. As Jagannatha Pandit's told, there is no difference between following Ekadasi and Harinam Sankirtan. They're no different, they're same. Because both are bhajan coming from Vaishnava. In Prema Vaivarta, Jagannatha Pandit explained that. Yasya prasadat bhagavat prasado yasya prasada nagati kutopi. See Guru Ashtakam, it says by the Guru's grace, Sri Guru's grace, one gains the Lord's grace. Without Sri Guru's grace, one has no shelter anywhere. By whose grace? You will get Lord's grace. Yasya prasadat. Yasya aprasadat. Without Guru's grace, and if Guru becomes unhappy with you, then you can have any shelter anywhere. So prasad, that type of thing that is coming to you, which is giving you service energy, service engagement, service opportunity. Don't think that prasad is only eating some paneer or some pizza or whatever. That is not just prasad. Samosa, that is not prasad. Even what a Vaishnava is saying, that is also prasad. Is coming from him. That is also prasad. What a devotee is saying to us, that is also prasad. We cannot think. That's why subtle and gross, both are there. It is told Gurudev's body and Gurudev's instruction, they are not different. Bani and Bapu, there is no difference. There is no difference. You cannot see any difference like that. So we have to understand in that spirit the meaning of prasad. And it is also, we sing in the Vaishnav song, Chai Sat Sangha Deho He Amare Basechi Sangero Ase. Please grant me the 6 type of association. So I have sat before you in hope of attaining that association. Anybody remember the 6 kind of association? The 6 associations that we have.
Giving prasadam and honoring prasadam and giving gift.
Yes.
Honoring gift, taking gift. And I don't remember.
6 association means accepting prasad from a Vaishnava and giving him also prasad. This is 2 type. Accepting gift from a Vaishnava and giving him the gift. Revealing one's mind to the Vaishnava and knowing Vaishnavas what is, revealing to us. This is 6 type of association. So if we are practicing that process, then we are getting the proper association. And we cannot see Vaishnava with some mundane vision. As the Lord says, Name Bhakta Chaturvedi Mad Bhakta Sapaja Priya Tasmai Deyam Tatha Graham Sacha Pujya Yatho Hai Aham. Sri Chaitanya Charitamrita Madhya Leela 20.58. It is also in Hari Bhakti Vilas 10.127. Lord Krishna said, even though a person is very learned scholar of the Sanskrit Vedic literatures, he is not accepted as my devotee unless he is pure in devotional service. However, even though a person is born in a family of dog eaters, he is very dear to me if he is a pure devotee who has no motive to enjoy fruitive activity or mental speculation. Indeed, all respect should be given to him, and whatever he offers should be accepted. Such devotees are as worshipable as I am. So you have to worship devotee as Lord. The way you treat with Lord, you have to treat devotee also same way. Lord Krishna says, the way you will treat me, you also treat him also like that. The way you will accept things from me, you also accept it from him in the same way. The way you want to give me, you also give him in the same way. Don't make any discrimination like that. You know that one devotee, with disciple of Srila A.C. Bhaktivinoda Swami Prabhupada, he came to Srila Sridhar Maharaj, who was always doing Nirjala Ekadasi, always doing Nirjala. When he came to Srila Sridhar Maharaj, he was listening Hari Katha. Sridhar Maharaj asked him, you are not going to take Anukalpa Prasadam? Maharaj, I am going now, I will take it. Then he went for taking Prasadam. Then devotees told to Srila Sridhar Maharaj, this devotee always do Nirjala, but because you asked him, we will not take Prasadam. To honor your word, he went to take Prasadam. And Sridhar Maharaj became very happy to hearing that. He was giving more importance to Vaishnava than his brata. His all those austerity. That is important thing. Not satisfying our mind or our vows and all those things. If Vaishnava is satisfied, that is the only thing that we want. We don't care of any scripture or any other mundane or even siddhis or other gains. That's not our aspiration. So prasad, why we are taking? Because we want to make Vaishnavas happy. We are accepting prasad to make the Vaishnavas happy. If we can get some strength, some grace to please and satisfy the Vaishnavas, that is the only thing that we want. No other thing, no other desires. So we have to get prasad is also, it is a food for the soul. It is not for the some kind of mundane gain. Soul has also some kind of what you can say same what you can say qualities that we are getting as a reflected qualities than this mundane plane. In the spiritual world, it is told the body and soul, they are one and same, they are no different. Swarup Siddhi, Swarup. Now we are in ego body, the Swarup. So what is the food for the soul? The food for soul is not just samosa, pizza and all those things. Food for the soul is the Harikatha that we are listening from the Vaishnavas. That is the food for the soul. It is being explained in Srimad Bhagavatam 1.1.3. Nigama kalpatarur galitam phalam sukhamukhad amrita drava samyutam pivata bhagavatam rasama alayam muhuraho rasika bhubi bhabukaha. Translation. This holy scripture, Srimad Bhagavatam, which describes the glories of the Supreme Lord, has descended intact from the wish-fulfilling tree of the Vedas, and it is enhanced by the nectar of the lotus mouth of the Sri Sukadev Goswami. O connoisseur of the mellows of devotion, please constantly relish this fruit, which is the embodiment of those mellows. O devotees blessed with heart's devotion, as long as you are not utterly dissolved in the reality of ecstasy, that is, as long as your hearts are not merged in devotional mellows, then taste the Srimad Bhagavatam in your life in this world as a pure votary of divinity. And even when your hearts are overflooded, you will perpetually continue to drink this supreme nectar divine. So the fruit, the ripened fruit in the matured state that Vyasadeva has given as the conclusion in Srimad Bhagavatam, that becomes very tasty if it is tasted by a great Vaishnava like Sukadev Goswami. Generally it is told in India, I don't know what they think in West, if there is a fruit on the tree and that is being tasted by a parrot, that it becomes very, very sweet. If the parrot tastes a fruit by its beaks, then that fruit becomes very tasty, very sweet. So Sukadev Goswami tasted this Srimad Bhagavatam, relished, and from his remnant, if somebody is receiving, it is very nice. And Sripad Bhakti Puri Maharaj received this instruction from Sridhar Maharaj, explained him in Vedanta Sutra. Actually, Bhagavatam is a commentary, natural commentary of Vedanta Sutra. Actually, second verse of Vedanta Sutra, Janmadasyata, is the first verse of Srimad Bhagavatam. So, Sridhar Maharaj says, what is the meaning of first verse? Athata Brahma Jigyasa. Now you came to a Vaishnava. Athata means now you came to a Vaishnava. Try to engage yourself in the service that Vaishnava is engaged with. Under his guidance, you engage in service and release the nectar that he is tasting. So this is the meaning of Athata Brahma Jigyasa, not the general understanding that people have. Now you got human form of life. You have to inquire, who am I, who made this world, and all those things. The general inquiry, but higher understanding is this. And Srila Sridhar Maharaj got this idea from Vishwanath Chakravarti Thakur. So that is the real food for the soul. That is the real food on which you must learn to live. If you have no that type of food, you are just maintaining your gross body, and that is also not so good. So we have to see everything in that relation with the absolute satisfaction of the absolute, satisfaction of the devotees. That can be food, that can be even thinking, that can be writing, speaking, anything, all activities, all the senses, how it can be engaged in the service of the Lord. That is the most important thing. And of course, tongue is very naughty. Tongue wants to be speaking so many things or want to taste so many nonsense things. Krishna is very kind, as Bhaktivinoda Thakur said. He has given us some help, discipline the tongue. Sripad Puri Maharaj used to say, tongue yoga. We need tongue yoga. Disciplining the tongue. Always giving Mahaprasad to the tongue. And then engaging the tongue in speaking the remnant, what the great Vaishnava spoke, that remnant that we are distributing. Their conception that we are distributing, not any misconception that we carry. What this great Vaishnavas are saying, we are distributing that. By that way, our tongue can be disciplined. That is tongue yoga. And Sripad Puri Maharaj told that we are not vegetarian, neither we are non-vegetarian, we are Mahaprasadamtarian. If we can follow that, then we become Mahaprasadamtarian. So that's what I wanted to say. Thank you very much for your participation.
Maharaj, thank you very much for that very inspiring lecture. I truly appreciate it.
Thank you.
So if there's anyone anyone would like to ask any questions, please feel free to do so.
Maharaj. He has a question.
Yeah, Krishna Kishore from London. We cannot see your video.
No. No, we're hiding, Maharaj.
Hare Krishna, Dandavat, Lakshmikanti, Krishna Kishore.
We're in the kitchen.
No, we are precisely.
Ironically, yes, but preparing to offer.
What are you preparing? Arepa?
No, it's only in Venezuela. Anyway, I do have a question about the prasadam.
Yes.
So it has been only one time, one very unfortunate experience, and I want to know what we should do or how we should manage when someone rejects the prasadam. This, of course, non-devotees, because sometimes we offer the prasadam to the public to give them some mercy, some sukriti for them. And one time I received some Jagannath prasadam, and at that time I was working in an office and I wanted to give to some people. Some of them accepted, some of them rejected, and one of them rejected it in a very bad way. So I was like, oh, this is like prasadam offense. Are we taking that offense? I mean, how does it works?
Srila Govinda Maharaj, I think, answered it. He has explained that we have to be very careful in distribution of prasadam. Generally, in ISKCON, they distribute prasadam very indiscriminately, and sometimes some people may commit offense because they are not having any faith on prasadam. As we chant Mahaprasadam, before taking Mahaprasadam, we chant this sloka: Mahaprasade Govinde Nama Brahmani Vaishnave Salpa Punna Vitam Rajan Viswasa Naiva Jayate. Those who have less piety, Bhismadev says this to Yudhishthir Maharaj, those who have less piety, Bhakti Unmukhi Sukruti, then they cannot honor Lord, His Mahaprasad and His devotees. So we have to be very careful when we are dealing with people who don't have faith. They are already in the very degraded state. We don't create any situation that they may further degrade by committing offense.
Yeah, because sometimes how can we know? Like,
yeah, Govinda Maharaj told. Govinda Maharaj told you have to tell them that I am Prabhu. I have, I'm planning to distribute prasadam Those who wants to accept prasadam, they can come. We have to inform them from before, so that they cannot commit any offense to the prasadam. We have to inform. Otherwise, there is a possibility that they may commit some offense. That's what Govinda Maharaj told. When one devotee asked him, I think it is published also in some book. I can search it and give it to you. But Govinda Maharaj told, we have to inform people. If they have some faith, then they can come. Otherwise, they may not come. We have to tell them, we are distributing this type of prasadam. Otherwise, you have to help them. Like Saraswati Thakur told, I can happily cook meat. If somebody cannot stay without eating meat, then I can happily cook meat. But they have to listen what I have to say. That is the better way. Better way of doing things.
We did this, no? We did this for some events, like preaching to the aristocratic British and so forth in India.
Yes. Yes.
Actually, I have a quick question.
Yes, Prabhu.
So this is more a practical question. Like we have some deities. We have Gopal, Gaur-Nityananda, Mahadev, and Acharya Dev actually named these deities. So when we are offering, I am trying to understand like in what way we should offer, like with the remnants. So first we would offer after the deities have taken, would we offer to Mahadev or first to the Vaishnavas and then Mahadev?
Of course, Mahadev should be offered first.
First.
Mahadev is our guru. He is Advaita Acharya. We cannot offer him. Of course, he is very humble. He can accept the devotees prasadam. But we have to be very careful. Sakale sanman korite sakati dehonatha jathajat. We have to, according to their position, we have to honor. That is the most important thing. Of course, we have to do all service under the guidance of Guru or Vaishnava. That is the most important thing. Like Tulasi Devi and all these, great personalities, we have to offer them. Then that can be offered to the other devotees. We cannot offer the devotees remnant to them. Krishna, Radharani, Mahaprabhu, and then all these, great personalities. Then we can offer to the Vaishnavas. This is the way generally done.
Okay.
Dandavat Maharaj, there's someone is asking a question.
Yes.
But hasn't identified themselves as yet.
What is the name? This Oppo 37F. Dandavat Maharaj, if any individual prepares prasadam in a materialistic food mood, then does it have any effect in quality of prasadam? Krishna don't accept if somebody offers him in a very materialistic way. Duryodhan offered Krishna so much opulent preparation, and Krishna rejected that. Krishna accepted even the skin of banana from Vidura because he was offering him with love and devotion. So Krishna don't take what you are offering. You may prepare paneer or you may prepare great thing, but if that proper attitude is not there, Krishna may not take it. Bhaktera dravya prabhu kadi kadi khai, abhaktera dravya prabhu uloti nachai. Devotees things by force Lord is taking, but non-devotees things Lord is not even giving any glance at them. So he is not taking what you are offering. He is eating your mood. Bhavagrahi Janardhan. He is eating your mood. What mood you are offering him. That is the most important thing. If that is missed, then everything is gone. You are only giving importance to outward things. Buildings, mission, followers, money, all those things are outward. My Guru Maharaj, before leaving this world, he instructed this to all of us. It's not that how many temples you made, how many peoples you bring to Krishna consciousness. This line, how much books you distributed, at last it matters how much pure you become. When you are leaving this world, what you are taking with you? This money, buildings, mission? No. What type of attitude, consciousness that you have cultivated? That is the most important thing. So Srila Sridhar Maharaj has given much importance. He told, dive deep into reality. Don't stay at the surface. Go deeper, try to understand. Dubilo bhakata gana dina hino bhase. There's a song, devotees, they dive deep, and they see the great things, great personalities. And naturally they become very humble. Such great personalities are there. What is my position? I'm nobody there, insignificant. Lower than the worm in the stool, Krishnadas Kaviraj Goswami is saying. That is natural for a devotee because you've seen those things. And those who are only floating on the surface, they are thinking they are so great. So we have to, go deeper. That is the most important thing, to see things in a proper perspective. And then what is the other thing? Please identify yourself. Okay. And what? I am Krishna Sharma from Calcutta, India. Karan Sharma.
Karan Sharma.
Karan Sharma ji, Dandavat. Any other questions? Anybody have?
Maharaj, I have a question from one of our friends. I will read it out to you. Okay. I hope this makes sense. If a lady who is practicing devotional life, she's vegetarian, she's following rules and regulations, chanting Maha Mantra every day, but her husband is not practicing devotional life. He's also not a vegetarian. And she has to prepare non-vegetarian dishes for him every day. Is she allowed to do Bhoga offering to the Lord?
Of course, it depends on what Guru says. As far as I know, Acharya Maharaj allows that. So as a Grostha, she has some responsibility towards her, husband or whatever. She is not yet free from that. And then she has to do all those things. So if she can, like Mahaprabhu told to Raghunath Das Goswami, Jatha Jogya Visaya Bhunja Anasakta Hoya. You go and you have to enjoy the Visaya according to the circumstances, the capability you are, but being detached. You have to be detached from that influence of Visaya. Don't get attached. So devotee is doing things like passing stool. You have to do things like gopis. Gopis have to maintain with their family members some relationship, but they are not really anyway attached to that family. Their mind is fully absorbed with Krishna. But they are very expert in doing their family affairs in such a way that they will not at all come to know what their inner intention is. That is very good example if we can follow the life of gopis, how they are doing. That is nice example. They are going and meeting Krishna despite they are married and having their husband and whatever. So this is a very good example we can understand. A devotee is like that. Antarnishta bahir lok vyavahar. Inside the devotee has all this conception, everything, but he is not acting crazy. People, then they will create so much disturbance. People will create so much disturbance. He's very intelligent. Je Krishna bhaja se chatur. Who is doing Krishna bhajan under a Vaishnava is very intelligent. So he will not create any disturbance. At the same time, he's not attached to all those works that he's doing. You know that one story that many of our acharyas told. Lord is happy with a person who is using Saligram Sila to measure the meat. He is using Saligram Sila to measure the meat. And then one Brahmana is coming and Brahmana is telling him, what are you doing? You rascal, you don't know. This Saligram Sila is such a great thing. You are doing this type of thing with this. Give me that Saligram Sila. Then he said, oh, my dear Brahmana, please forgive me. Take this Saligram Sila. He's very humble soul. He given him back. And this Brahmana takes that Saligram Sila and puts it in his house, temple, and employs somebody to do puja. Then one day Lord gives him dream and said, what kind of nonsense person you are. I was so happy dancing with him every day there in that measuring instrument, up and down. And you kept me in this boring life here. You're some person who even don't have any interest and he's chanting so many nonsense without even understanding what he's doing. A boring life. Give me back there. Return me there. So Krishna don't want to stay, very Vedic way of things. He wants to see what kind of attitude you have. That is the most important thing. What kind of attitude? If you have no proper attitude, we are doing so many things, but proper attitude is not there, then Krishna will not accept that. The attitude is the most important thing. Is that reasonable?
Anubhav, thank you, Maharaj. Yes, thank you for your wonderful answer. I appreciate it.
Thank you.
I will relay that.
Thank you, Prabhu.
If you don't mind, Maharaj, one more question I have also from another friend.
Yes, Prabhu.
Again, I will try to ask it in a proper way. He wants to know if someone who is not a vegetarian and on certain days he is fasting, where he's completely abstaining from all kinds of non-veg and only eating vegetables for that day. On that day, when he is fasting, is he allowed to do bhoga offering to the Lord? Can he cook an offering to the Lord only when he is fasting?
Well, bhoga offering anybody can do any day under the direction of a devotee. As we were told, service has to have some adhikar. Some adhikar is necessary. Some Vaishnava has to allow. Not that you can do service to Krishna like that. I am there, Krishna is there, and service is there. That is not service. There must be a master for the service. As a government servant, private servant, there must be a master. Otherwise, whatever you do, and this is what is service, and that is nobody will accept. Government will not accept, or a private company will not accept. The way government will instruct you, you have to do in that way. So any day, any time, if Vaishnava has told you something to do, if you can do that, then that is service. And if whatever we are doing, that can be having some good and bad reaction. Pap and punya will be there attached to that. Even reading Gita can be also come as pious activity. It cannot be service if it is not given to us from a Vaishnava. So everything has to be done under the guidance of Vaishnava. Then that will be perfect actually. The service will directly go to Krishna. That squirrel, you know the story of a squirrel in Ramayana. They were building the bridge. The squirrel was simply serving the devotees what they are doing, just assisting. A few pebbles of sand given for that bridge construction, and that service being accepted by Lord Ram. So we have to do in line with the desire of a Vaishnava. Then everything can be adjusted. Even if you chant Mora Mora, that can be devotion. Narad Muni told, chant Mora Mora, my dear Dasiratnakar, chant Mora Mora. And he chanted Mora Mora. Mora Mora means murder. And that becomes great mantra for him. And he become a great devotee of Lord Ram. He wrote Ramayana. If anybody chants Valmiki's name, he will be purified. So sadhu can do, Vaishnava can do. Any great sinful person can kaak ke gorud kore. He can make a crow a goruda. Sadhu can do that. Possible. So we have to see from the background, from where any action is coming. What is the background of that? A small bird can threaten ocean. We often say a small bird. When the egg is being taken by the ocean was thinking a small bird, not seen who is the behind that small bird. And behind the Garuda is there. And then ocean has to accept defeat. So we have to see the service from where it is coming. If it is coming from our mind, that is not service. Maner khyal khushi rakam bhajaner abhinay ke bhajan bole na. Guru Vaishnaver anugatya seva kore tader mon santushti kora take bole bhajan. Srila Acharya Maharaj often says that. This is the statement of Saraswati Thakur. Whatever your mind is saying, doing that and calling it bhajan is not bhajan. It has to be done under the guidance of Guru and Vaishnava to please the mind of Guru and Vaishnava, not our mind. Our mind may be unhappy, but Guru and Vaishnava's mind is happy, then we are happy. Arjuna is killing all these people, he may not be happy. But Krishna says, your happiness, unhappiness does not make much importance to me. You have to work for my happiness. In Gita he says. So that way. So that is the practice for our all service life. That must be the practice.
Shanta Maharaj, I was thinking when you were speaking that
Yes.
when I read Srila Gurudev's Last Will and Testament,
Yes.
right at the very end, there's a little caption where he speaks about how late in life he was thinking, oh, I'm not giving so much thought now to the regulative principles. And he's saying, if someone just has some affection for the devotees and they are coming and trying to associate and serve, that he gives more importance to than the regulative principles. And I was thinking, oh, this sounds like also, in the circumstances with these devotees who maybe they cannot follow the principles of being fully vegetarian. But if they are associating with the devotees and they have some inclination to serve the Lord and the devotee, then we should give precedence to that. And, it is something, they're moving in the right direction.
Yeah. I heard Sripad Bhakti Puri Maharaj told us that Srila Maharaj, he told, following rules and regulation is like picking the mushroom from the soil. A baby can do that. But making oneself free from Vaishnava aparad is very much impossible, almost impossible. It's very difficult. That's what we are in. That's what we are in. Our habit is that life after life we are committing Vaishnava aparad. Sridhar Maharaj also thought like that. I am an offender life after life. That's why I want to stay in this aparad bhanjan part. So may that merciful Lord who forgiven so many great offenders in this aparad bhanjan part, he may kindly forgive me. So this type of thing is very important. Rules and regulations generally who are following too much, generally you will find the tendency to offend to Vaishnavas. You will find prominent in them. They become very proud that I am following so many rules. Then they become offender to the Vaishnavas on the strength of that ego.
Yeah, there is this famous, I think it's in Sri Guru and His Grace, where someone asks him about smoking marijuana. And people often misuse this place to try and use it as an excuse. And he says, oh, this is not such a big thing. It is like a mushroom in the ground. It has no roots, in consciousness. It has no roots there. This will go away. So often some devotees, they will say, oh, Guru Maharaj says it's not such a big thing. We can smoke marijuana, but they don't really understand.
But did Gurudev told you to do that?
No, he didn't. That's my point. I'm saying
your mind may be telling that to do that, but we have to. Our attention must be to please Guru, and we have to always meditating on that. What will make my Guru happy? What will make Vaishnava happy? If that is what your meditation is all about, then everything will be okay in that spirit. If Guru is happy, if he is happy that you take rice on the day of Ekadasi and do your service properly, if Guru is happy, then that is fine.
I was just saying that they misuse that, but it's a similar thing that you were saying about the mushrooms. That these are not.
Anything can be misused. Anything can be misused and properly used. Fire can be used for burning, and fire can be used for cooking. Whatever purpose, everything has like that. This world is for imitationist. People want to imitate Krishna's position, devotee's position. But the imitation is not the solution. We have to understand things properly. Means don't give importance to rules and regulation, means don't try to make rules and regulation as your Guru.
Yes, they're not the central thing.
They are not your Guru. Guru can give you certain things, tell you some do and don'ts, but rules and regulations are not your Guru. That cannot be your guiding, or directing principle. That can be changed. And in fact, highest plane is to go beyond even that regulations. Raganuga plane.
Yes.
And Guru can take you to that plane if you are having that loving relation with Guru or Vaishnava, Sadhu. They're not different. Can take you to that plane.
Maharaj,
Yes.
Praneshwari Devidasi made a comment in the chat.
So in conclusion, we can say that main source of prasadam is mercy. Prasadam is, the meaning of prasadam is mercy. Source can be the devotee. Source is the Vaishnava. Vaishnava is the source from where you can get prasad. You know how that prasad came, the glories of prasadam, like Narad Rusi, he wanted to have some prasadam and he asked Lakshmi Devi, Lakshmi Devi, can I have the prasadam of Lord Vishnu? And Lakshmi Devi told, I will get that for you. Then she asked to Vishnu, you are a great devotee, Narad, he asking for your prasadam. He said, I generally don't give my prasad to anybody. But however, when I am not seeing it, when I was taking my, food, if somebody is saving something from that, I don't mind it. When I'm not seeing it. Then when Lord is knowingly looking at other direction, then Lakshmi Devi saves some prasadam from his plate. Then he gives to Narad. Then Narad is taking that, he become greatly ecstatic, dancing and dancing. He went to Kailas. Then Shiva is saying, what happened to Narad today? He become mad. And Narad, what you got today? So ecstatic, I never seen you. Then he says, I got prasadam. Then Shiva says, what kind of God brother you are, that you got prasadam and not kept anything for me? Then Narad felt very sad. Oh, yes, I could have saved something. Actually, prasadam must be taken together. All should distribute prasadam. Narad felt, oh yes, I have done something wrong. Then Shiva says, which hand you taken prasadam? Say, right hand. Okay, let me see. And he sees that there is one small, tiny bit of prasadam is there, attached there. Then Lord Shiva takes that and put it in his mouth, and he become very ecstatic, and he starts dancing, and he become like naked, so much ecstasy, Lord Shiva. Then Parvati came running. What happened to Lord Shiva? The whole Kailas is, like earthquake came there. What happened? then Parvati asks, what happened to both of you are dancing like that? Then they say, we got prasadam. Oh, I see. And I am your dharma patni, and I supposed to get share from your prasad. Why not you saved something for me? Because, oh, it was very, in a mood, in a spontaneity, I have consumed everything. Then Parvati become, Parvati is very expert in cursing people. She always curse people. And immediately he cursed Shiva. That whoever takes your prasad directly, he will be losing bhakti. Then you have not given prasadam to me, I will make arrangement. And when a dog gets prasadam in earthly planet. And that type of arrangement, Durga Devi done in Jagannath Puri. By her, that wish, the Jagannath Puri become a prasad khetra. There everybody getting prasadam, so much prasadam. Dog, cows, chandal, everybody is getting prasadam there in Jagannath Puri. Prasad Khetra, it is known as Prasad Khetra. Some of you came to Jagannath Puri, you must have taken prasadam. There's wonderful prasadam there in Jagannath Puri. Oh.
Dandavat Maharaj.
Dandavat. Amya Sindhu.
Wasn't there somewhere in India where there was a dispensation for devotees, new devotees, who had lived mostly on a diet of fish, and they were fish was accommodated as part of their diet initially. Can you remember that? I think Maharaj, Govinda Maharaj, I think, had this arrangement for those devotees somewhere where maybe in Goa or Kerala.
Oh, well, fish is the common food in Bengal.
In Bengal.
Bengal people, they think fish is like a fruit in the water, water fruit. They think they consume it. That is their attitude. They offer a fish to Kali and they take that prasad. But Vaishnavas don't take that. Of course, not all Vaishnavas. Garuda is a bird. For Garuda it is allowed, but not for us. If you see some fault in Garuda, then it is not good. Garuda in the bird bodies, Garuda can take fish, elephant, so many things Garuda can eat.
Maharaj, on the subject of mushrooms, are devotees allowed to eat them?
Generally, mushroom is not offered to Lord because it is in Tamagun.
Okay. Okay.
Dark food, Maharaj.
Huh?
Mushroom is a dark food.
Tamagun means the food has its modes. Different food have different modes. So generally, the tamasic food, which is very like like a very bad smell, certain foods, such a very extreme, taste, all those things.
Onions, garlic.
Yeah. So many such things are there that may not being offered to Lord. So Lord don't take those things. Certain things Lord Himself says that I want to take it, then we are happy. Whatever He says, and we offer to Him. He has revealed that through His devotees, and we are following that.
Maharaj.
We have not knowing Lord directly. We only know Lord through devotees. So whatever devotees told us, this is what we have to offer to Lord. We are happily offering.
You work in the scientific field, Maharaj. I said you work in the scientific field, and you probably know more than I would ever know. But I came across little articles about the way food affects consciousness, and even science, accepts that different types of foods affects the mind in different ways. What have you come across about this sort of thing?
You have seen the presentation that I made in the beginning slide?
No, we arrived late.
Okay, beginning slide, I have shown some reference how the fish, there are some studies, eating fish affects your mood. It may create depression, even soft drinks, all those things. There are so many such studies are there, statistical studies they made, and some experiments they conducted, of course. So those all things are there. So different food definitely affect our, consciousness. And you know that Ayurveda also treats on what they call it, the three fluids, Vata, Pitta, Kapha.
Yes.
So different food affects different fluids in our body. Some may enhance the Vata, the air. Some may enhance the Kapha, and some may enhance the Pitta. So they are there, of course, they will. But when we are honoring prasadam, we don't have to see in that spirit. Like suppose Valmiki, we have to see in that way. Suppose Valmiki, suppose Valmiki?
No, I'm not familiar.
That he was like a Sudra in Yudhishthira Maharaj's kingdom, the incarnation of Jamaraj. And Krishna kept a bell for Yudhishthira Maharaj's yagya. If he has yagya is successful, that all Vaishnavas are happy, satisfied, then bell will automatically ring. And Yudhishthira Maharaj served many people, but the bell did not ring. Then they all approached Krishna, what happened? Then Krishna told he must have left some Vaishnava. Then they asked Lord, who is revealed? And he told, you have not served your one, servitor in your kingdom, suppose Valmiki. Then they all gone to invite him for prasadam. And Draupadi prepared so many varieties of prasadam, paramanna and the chutney and so many things. And he comes and mixes everything and takes it like, full, what you can say, khichdi. Then Draupadi thinking, I labored so hard to prepare all these things and this person don't know how to honor kingly offering. Then the bell still did not ring. Then they all approached Krishna, what happened? We served and not ring. And I think, did anybody committed any offense? Then Draupadi accepts, yes, I committed offense, I thought like that. Then they again invite him. Then Draupadi asks forgiveness. And the Sripad Valmiki says, I'm not taking any parmanno or fry or this or that. I'm only taking prasadam. So I don't differentiate between any of those things. I am taking Krishna's prasad is nirgun. Krishna and his prasad are not different actually. Krishna's name, Krishna's prasad, Krishna's form, his devotee, his paraphernalia, his abode, they're not different from Krishna. They are same. If we are seeing some difference, then we have misconception about Krishna. They're same. So then that type of practice or seeing is very rare to find in this world actually. But that is the ideal that we have in front of us. We have to practice to see things. That's why the instruction is being given while we take initiation. Don't try to think Krishna's name is something is equal to the demigod's name or other yajnas and all those things. Krishna and his name are not different. He is absolute. And all, everything, his belongings, everything, we have to see in that context.
Thank you, Maharaj.
Thank you, Prabhu.
Maharaj, but did the bell ring at the end?
Of course. Of course it rang. After that teaching is established. Everything has a teaching to establish. To teach us. Not that Draupadi has committed any offense. That first time has to happen to teach us this. Don't try to see defects in the Vaishnavas. What their activities they are doing, they are not ordinary. They cannot see any defect in them. Then Lord himself will establish how they are correct. Lord will establish how they are correct. So don't try to see defect in them. That's why Krishna says, Opichesi durachari. If my devotee is a durachari, still you see him as a my devotee and honor him with great respect. Because by my grace, if whatever defects are there, they all will grow or go. They will not come. They will not stay there. They will all go. But if you see good in my devotee, then you will be Mahatma or Arjun. You will be Mahatma. You will be a great personality by seeing good in my devotees. To see always good in devotees. Not only devotees, even in non-devotees, you can see something. Actually, Nityananda Prabhu and Mahaprabhu adopted that process. That's why they could change so many souls. Mahaprabhu and Nityananda Prabhu, they could see good in everything, every aspect. Even a blade of grass, what we see as very ordinary, Mahaprabhu is seeing some great quality in blade of grass, which he feels he don't have it. The quality that tree have, we have not realized it, that Mahaprabhu realized and telling us. The quality that worm in the stool have, we don't realize it. That Krishnadas Kaviraj says that he don't have it that much, that quality. So how to see that, that good thing in everything. So that we can do if we have some discipline under a Vaishnava. A Vaishnava can make us humble. Gurudev Kripa Bindu Diya Koroi Dase Tina Pekhauti Din. Or Gurudev make me humble, more humble than a blade of grass. If we can that, then we can see all good in others. Govinda Maharaj told very nice thing. We don't know who is a Vaishnava, who is not a Vaishnava. Then what we can do, we can honor everybody. It's very nice, simple, very easy solution. We can honor everybody.
Maharaj, thank you so much for your amazing answers. We truly appreciate it. So
Thank
much
you
we
very
can
much,
learn
Prabhu.
from you. If you don't mind.
I am also very enthusiastic to have your association. I'm getting some energy by your all association. Thank you very much for your association and engaging me in some humble service. That's your all grace.
Jai Gurudev, Jai Gurudev. Thank you, Maharaj. Maharaj, if you don't mind, maybe you can lead us into some kirtan. We can do Hari Hara Nama Krishna.
Okay, so next, when is your Sangha? On Saturday, or when is your Sangha next? You are doing this?
Next week, Saturday.
Next week, Saturday. And who is preparing the recipe next week?
Maybe Kanopriya can give you more details.
Okay.
Hopefully Saraswati Dedi from West London will be
Okay.
preparing something.
Okay.
Be in there, Maharaj.
Who is this? Krishna Kishore left already, I think. Okay, Krishna
He's
Kishore and
still there.
is he preparing anything?
Yes,
Arepa?
Krishna, Kishore Prabhu and myself, we'll also try to give some talk.
Okay.
Yeah.
And what Parneshwari is preparing? What she is preparing?
Kedgiri, rice and lentils with vegetables.
Okay. Very nice. Nanda Priya from Kathmandu, huh? Nanda Priya Didi, are you there?
No, Maharaj. Yes, Maharaj.
So you are also preparing something?
Yes, Maharaj.
Nepal has very nice dishes. I like Nepal preparation. Achar, huh? Nepali achar? Achar
Yes, Maharaj. Potato pickle, fresh potato pickle. In Nepali says alu ka achar.
Oh, good. Very nice. They don't know the koiralo you don't prepare because they don't find koiralo everywhere.
This time not available, Maharaj, koiralo.
And you can tell them about gundruk soup is good. But you have to tell them how to prepare gundruk. They don't know it.
What is the English name, Maharaj?
It is like some like a spinach. They ferment it in a earthen pot, and they make it, and from that they make some soup. Very nice, the preparation they make it.
We look forward to that, Nanda Priya.
Yes, I never heard of fermenting spinach, Maharaj, so it's the first. Sounds interesting.
Yeah. Okay, then we'll do some kirtan.
Yes.
Hari Haraya Nama Krishna Jadavaya Namaha.
Hari
Jadavaya Madhavaya Kesavaya Namaha.
Yadavaya Madhavaya Kesavaya
Namaha.
Gopal Govinda Ram Si Madhusudana.
Gopal Govinda Ram Sri Madhusudana.
Giridhari Gopinath Madana Mohana.
Giridhari Gopinath Madana Mohana.
Sri Chaitanya Nityananda Sri Advaita Chandra.
Chaitanya
Gadadhar Shiva Sadi Gaur Bhakta Brinda. Jaya Rupa Sanatan Bhatta Raghunatha.
Sanatan Bhatta Raghunatha.
Sri Jiva Gopala Bhatta Das Raghunatha.
Jiva Gopala Bhatta Das Raghunatha.
Echai Gosai Kori Charada Bandana.
Echai Gosai Kori Charana Bandana.
Jaha Hoite Bignana Sabishta Purana. Echai Gosai Jar Mui Tar Dasa. Tasavar Padareno Mor Panchagrasa. Kader Charana Sevi Bhakta Sannebasa. Janame Janame Mor Ei Abhilasa. Echai Gosai Jabe Braja Koila Basa. Radha Krishna Nitya Leela Korila Prakasa.
Radha Krishna Nitya Leela Korila Prakasa.
Anande Bolo Hari Bhaja Vrindavana.
Anande Bolo
Hari
Brahma.
Shri Guru Vaishnava Pade Majaiya Mana. Shri Guru Vaishnava Pad Padma Kariyasa.
नाम संकीर्तन कहे नरोत्तम दास
Nama Sankirtana Kore Naratam Dasha.
Hare Krishna 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 Hare Hare
Hare
Hare
Krishna,
Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare.
Hare Ram 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 Hare Hare
Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Hare Hare.
Hare Krishna 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 Hare Hare
Hare Krishna,
Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare.
Hare Ram Ram Hare Hare
Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare.
Ram Raghav Raksamam
Rama Raghava, Rama Raghava, Rama Raghava, Rakshama.
Ram Raghav Raksamam
Rama Raghava, Rama Raghava, Rama Raghava, Rakshama.
Krishna Kesava Pahi Mam
Krishna Keshava, Krishna Keshava, Krishna Keshava, Pahimam.
Krishna Krishna He
Krishna Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Krishna He.
Ram He
Rama Rama, Rama Rama, Rama Rama, Rama He.
Hare Krishna 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 Hare Hare
Hare
Krishna,
Krishna,
Hare
Hare
Krishna,
Krishna,
Krishna Krishna, Hare
Hare
Hare.
Hare Rama Rama Hare Hare
Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare.
Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Ram Rama Hare Hare
Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Hare Hare.
Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Ram Ram Hare Hare
Hare
Hare
Krishna,
Krishna,
Hare
Krishna
Krishna,
Krishna,
Krishna
Krishna,
Hare
Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Hare Hare.
Govinda Jaya Jaya Gopal Jai Jai Radha Ramana Hari Govinda Jai Jai
Govinda Jaya Jaya, Gopal Jaya Jaya, Radha Ramana Hari, Govinda Jaya Jaya.
Govinda Jaya Jaya Gopal Jai Jai Radha Ramana Hari Govinda Jai Jai
Govinda
Jaya, Gopal Jaya Jaya, Radha Ramana Hari, Govinda Jaya Jaya.
Nitai Gaurango Nitai Gaurango Jaya Nitai Gaurango
Nitai Gauranga Jaya, Nitai Gauranga, Nitai Gauranga Jaya, Nitai Gauranga.
Jaya Satchinandana Jaya Satchinandana Gaura Hari
Jaya
Jai Sachinandana, Jai Sachinandana, Jai Sachinandana, Gaura Hari.
Kali Juga Pavana Gaura Hari Patita Pavana Gaura Hari
Kaliyuga pavana gaura hari,
Patita
patita
Pavana
pavana
Gaura
gaura
Hari.
hari.
Gaura Hari
Gaura Gaura, Gaura Gaura, Gaura Gaura, Gaura Hari.
Jaya Guru Deva Jaya Guru Deva Guru Deva Jaya Guru Deva
Jaya Guru
Jaya Guru Deva, Guru Deva Jaya Guru Deva.
Nitai Gaura Hari Bol bol, Hari bol, Hari bol, Hari bol.
Nitai Gaura Hari Bol, Hari Bol, Hari Bol, Hari Bol.
Nitai Gaur Hari bol, Hari bol, Hari bol, Hari bol.
Hari Bol, Hari Bol, Hari Bol, Nitai Gaura Hari Bol.
Nitai Gaur Premanande Hari
Hari Bol.
Vancha kalpataruvasya kipa sindhu bhayavacha patitanam pavanebhyo vaishnavebhyo namo namaha. Jai Saparika Sri Guru Gauranga Gandharva Govinda Sundar Ji ki jai. Jai Vishnupad Paramansa Paribrajaka Jodh Gosla Bhaksho Damodar Goswami Maharaj ki jai. Jai Vishnupad Paramansa Paribrajaka Jodh Gosla Bhakti Madhavpuri Maharaj ki jai. Jai Vishnupad Paramansa Paribrajaka Jodh Gosla Bhakti Nimlacharya Goswami Maharaj ki jai. Vishnupad Paramansa Paribrajaka Jodh Gosla Bhakti Sundar Govinda Dev Goswami Maharaj ki jai. Vishnupad Paramansa Paribrajaka Jodh Gosla A.C. Bhaktivinoda Prabhupada Ji Maharaj ki jai. विष्णुपाद परमंश परिव्राज कचौद गोस्वामी भक्ति राक्षक श्रीदेव गोस्वामी महाराज की जय। भगवान शिला भक्ति सिद्धांत ठाकुर प्रभुपाद जी महाराज की जय। महाभागवत शिला गौर किशोरदास बाबा जी महाराज की जय। सच्चिदानंद भक्ति विनोद ठाकुर की जय। वैष्णव सर्वंग बाबा जी महाराज की जय। बलदेव विद्याभूषण प्रभु की जय। नरोत्तम दास ठाकुर की जय। कृष्णदास कविराज गोस्वामी महाराज की जय। वृंदावन दास ठाकुर महाशय की जय। रूपानुग गुरु वर्ग की जय। नमाचार्य हरिदास ठाकुर की जय। प्रेम से बोले श्री कृष्ण चैतन्य प्रभु नित्यानंद श्री अद्वैत गदाधर शिवासादि श्री गौर भक्त बिंद की जय। स्वरूप दामोदर रायन दादी भक्त बिंद की जय। मुरारी गुप्ता प्रभु की जय। सपार्षद नित्यानंद प्रभु की जय। सपार्षद महाप्रभु की जय। भक्ति देवी वृंदा देवी की जय। गंगा देवी जमुना देवी की जय। ग्रंथराज श्रीमद् भागवतम की जय। चैतन्य 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 भागवत की जय। भक्तराज प्रहलाद महाराज की जय। शुद्ध भक्ति विघ्न विनाशन भगवान नरसिंह देव की जय। जय श्री जगन्नाथ बलदेव सुभद्रा सुदर्शन जीव की जय। जगन्नाथपुरी धाम की जय। मायापुर नवदीप धाम की जय। अपराध बंधन पारसी कलदीप की जय। जय श्री गुप्त गोवर्धन की जय। जय श्री सदाशिव गंगाधर जीव की जय। जय श्री मथुरा वृंदावन धाम की जय। जय श्री श्याम कुंड राधा कुंड गिरी गोवर्धन की जय। जय चैतन्य सारस्वत मठ की जय। तद्व्यापी शाखा समूह की जय। तद विश्वव्यापी सेवक वृंद भक्त वृंद की जय। श्री चैतन्य सारस्वत इंस्टीट्यूट की जय। प्रिंसटन भक्ति वेदांत इंस्टीट्यूट की जय। जय कॉन्शियस कुकिंग प्रीचिंग प्रोग्राम की जय। वेद भक्त वृंद की जय। जय श्रीपाद कृष्ण किंकर प्रभु कृष्ण किशोर प्रभु whatever who is there, Omya Sindhu Prabhu, Ma Didi, Krishna Nandini, Kanupriya, all assembled devotees, Lakshmi Kanti and all devotees, all assembled devotees की जय। खोल करताल की जय। हरि नाम संकीर्तन की जय। निताय गौर प्रेमानंदे हरि 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 बोल। दंडवत एवरीवन।
श्रीपद भक्ति निष्काम शांता महाराज की जय।
जय गुरुदेव। Dandavad. So you continue. Try to do some humble preaching program. It'll be nice. Hare Krishna.
By your grace. Thank you, Maharaj. Dandavad.
Dandavad everyone.
Hare Krishna.